Can you guys refresh the presentation? Not that I'm making it right now.
Happy
Okay.
Friday, Vendasta, and welcome to All Hands on Product Showcase for August 15th. Please make some noise for your host, Jackie Wenzera!
Check. Am I on? Yeah? Happy Friday, gang! Sunshine's coming tomorrow. It's the last day of the week, and we made it. We've got a relatively quick show today, but I did want to cover a couple things, and I'm so happy to be here with you all. So let's dive in. A couple of new hires, singers. We've got a few anniversaries and one big one next week, and some movers and shakers and some special customer love this week. So let's welcome Sendil, staff developer at our Chennai office. Welcome, Sendil. And a special serenade from our Boca office. Michael, can you hear us? Michael, are you there?
I don't see them online yet, but they might be coming here in a second. We can come back to it.
All right. If Michael doesn't sing today, it's
Oh,
double the torment. He has to
never
add a
mind. I see
dance
him.
as well next week.
They're here.
All right.
They're here. We can do it.
Shane, do you want to just give me one of these if Michael joins us?
He's here.
Okay. Oh, Michael, you're so lucky, buddy. So, Michael, can you hear us?
We are waiting for Michael to get off the phone. We may have to come back to it right now.
Oh, is this him here? Too busy selling, Michael?
Sounds
He
like
is
it.
too busy setting. We can come back to it whenever you guys are ready.
All right, that's okay. Just to soften the nerves. My very first time at Vendasta in my week when I had to sing, I had just got off a customer call with Chess Hagen, who is one of the co-founders. And back then, we didn't warn people when they needed to sing a song. So I remember walking into the Sky Pad, if anyone remembers the Sky Pad at the old building, a room full of people, and I opened the doors, and everyone's like, now sing! And I'm like, where am I, and what is this? And I did a rap to Austin Powers. Okay, Ramadan, congratulations on 1 year. Senior developer at our Chai office. Mr. Ads Man Dan. Dan is a fantastic ads leader. Congratulations on 3 years. Quite a few at the 4 category. Tyler, Jay-Z, and Wanmi, congratulations on a special 4-year anniversary. And Jure Wong, a special 7 years. Holy cow. Senior website developer in our Saskatoon office. Congratulations. Now, I tried to grab some juice from the Neighborly meeting. So Chris is Mr. Neighborly. Everyone knows Chris around here, and they are in the middle of a very, very strategic business review. Brendan's there. I believe John's there. Got a whole team down meeting with Neighborly right now. And so far, I think I hear some thumbs up. The meeting's going really well, but we'll get the full lowdown from Chris. So make sure you give Chris good energy for the meeting right now, and we'll hear a full recap, I'm sure, on Monday. So over to our movers and shakers. Maria. Maria's moving into a team lead position. Congratulations, Maria. And a couple of kudos. So for Sendil, I guess, Sendil's our new team member. We have our 16 leadership principles, and every week through Lattice, you can recommend and send kudos to a team member. So this week, we've got Anishkar from Mullen. So Anishkar has consistently exhibited exemplary communication skills that significantly enhance client interactions. His ability to articulate complex information with clarity and precision ensures that clients fully understand the services provided. Furthermore, Anishkar's active listening skills foster a strong rapport with clients, allowing him to address their needs effectively. His adaptability and communication style, whether formal or informal, demonstrates his keen awareness of client preferences, which is crucial in building lasting relationships. In addition to his communication prowess, Anishkar excels in client relationship management. He proactively engages with clients, providing timely updates and checking in on their satisfaction, which cultivates loyalty and trust. His problem-solving abilities are commendable. He approaches challenges with a positive mindset, swiftly identifying solutions while keeping clients informed throughout the process. Anishkar's commitment to incorporating client feedback into service delivery reflects his dedication to continuous improvement, making him an invaluable asset to our team. Thank you. What a glowing review and such an important skill set as we transition to outcomes for customers. So thank you, and thank you, Mullen, for submitting that. Mr. Chow, Megan had some really great words for Mr. Chow as well. How? Huge thanks for How for resolving an after-hours SMS outage. Wednesday night, Gabe posted in the Comms and Prod Devs channel that all phone numbers had disappeared from conversation settings. I didn't even know this happened. And the conversations microservice was failing. How immediately jumped in to help. He diagnosed that the SMS microservice was in a crash loop, then worked closely with Gabe to trace the cause. He prepared and deployed an emergency fix, bringing SMS service back online in under an hour, then stayed online, monitoring it for stability before signing off for the night. This morning, How has carried that same strong ownership forward, as he always does. He's coordinating across teams to understand the root causes, working to recover as much messaging data as possible, communicating impacts to stakeholders, and owning scheduling the postmortem to make sure we seize the opportunity for long-term improvement. How is a strong force for Vendasta's upward trajectory in the service resilience. Thank you, How, for your calm under pressure, collaborative problem solving, and commitment to making us better. Wow. Wow. Well done. Great review as well. Some customer love. Brian's presentation from Connect got me all lovey yesterday. Anyone see that? Buying some flowers. All right, Claudia from Jeff. Claudia, thank you for your help with this, and please let the team know how very pleased we are and our client is with how this website came out. This project went very well, very smooth, and our client has been very pleased with the communication from both you and Kane. So thank you both for doing a great job and getting our clients online fast with a beautiful and very on-point website. Not only do I appreciate this website will assist us in getting more healthcare business. Way to go. Marketing services, and specifically Amrit Paul and the website team, have really been focused on turning their entire processes upside down to deliver quickly and to deliver quality. So this review is a testament to some of that shift. Thank you guys for highlighting this. More of this all the time. There's a world of website builds to be had, and we're so excited that our AMPS team is making this shift. Special bonus customer love to the entire team. Connect was incredible yesterday. It made us look like a $1 company. The brand, the preparation, the audience, the love, the chat. There wasn't any trolls this time. Trolls stayed at bay. Very few little glitches. Like, we're really starting to get sorted out. And so I just wanted to tease a little some of the chat love nuggets that came in. If you want to see more, just through the channel, they've been shared. But new to the Vendasta universe, and this entire presentation blew my mind. Thank you. So happy with Vendasta. This is amazing insights. Vendasta was a game changer for us. Hands down, one of the best investments we've ever made. Everything was centralized. Nothing fell through the cracks. This is the stuff that gets us up and out of bed every morning, and Connect is such a beautiful event. I have the privilege of sitting outside the SDR team and some of the sales conversations that are going on as well. And I can tell, I think Derek even had a call yesterday. The guy didn't come in from Connect, but he must have seen all of the buzz from Connect, and he was just like hot to trot, talking everything about the Conversations AI and the AI receptionist. And so the buzz is really creating momentum. Sales is blitzing that momentum. And specifically, he was making the jump away from GHL. So we're going to take them out at the knees through this event as well. So with that, keep the good love coming. I think Babs maybe have even had a demo with that specific customer today. So well done, team. Congratulations. So today, Indian Independence Day. So it's a stat in India on August 27th. We've got another stat. I'm not even going to go for that one. August 29th, Patio and Fireworks Festival. That is next week, the week after next. And then on the 18th, Babs is going to try to take on everyone at the Vendasta golf tournament. He's got a negative 25 handicap, so anyone wants to step up to that. I think Kaz said if you hate your life enough to carry sticks around a course, get in on that, because even if you don't golf, you might fit into that category. All right, L&D opportunities from our wonderful learning and development team. The revenue, so Mam and Barbara are gonna lead a webinar, the revenue email loop, deliver, engage, convert, and repeat. So this is gonna be an exciting one. Make sure to hit that on August 20th. And then at 1 p.m., Partner Center, internal refresh by Nathan. That's gonna be very exciting, so jump in on both of those. So today, I wanted to do a little presentation on goals. Yay, goals. Everyone loves Lattice, right? Round of applause if you, okay, it's only Kim clapping. Goals. But in all seriousness, I think OKRs are a transformative way to take strategy and vision and operationalize it into execution and results. And we've sort of got rolling and we're getting rounder and rounder. And so I wanted to take a moment just to show you how some of the goals that we're focused on as a quarter, as a channel team, and the direct team is very much focused on many of these things as well, and how we're doing toward those. But rather than take you through Lattice, because everyone loves Lattice, I'm gonna go through 3 cheesy metaphors to hopefully storytell and have memory through story. So the first objective that we're focusing on, it's nothing new, and it's something Brendan talks about coming out of the board, is really accelerating AI adoption. But the way I want you to think about this, and this is straight out of Jeff Leibels, is planting seeds for harvest. What do you mean by that, Jackie? You guys are crazy. Well, what I mean by that is yesteryear, a big part of our strategy was selling third-party SEO products. Why? Well, even though they're low margin, they're high ARPA. So if you think about one business buying a $1,000 SEO package at a 30% margin, that's still $300 in contribution margin. Plus, it's easy to sell. I can get you on the front page. That's really easy for our customers to sell and our partners to sell, and are really easy for small businesses to understand. The problem is that it churns. It has a very low retention rate. So in Q4, you can see here that a lot of that third-party drop wasn't necessarily because churn was increasing. It's because we stopped selling it. So we've got sort of this 2 forces at play. One is we've stopped selling third-party SEO in our sales motions. And the second is it's because we really wanted to double down and focus on all the amazing stuff our product and R&D teams were building through our owned and operated. The beautiful thing about owned and operated is that it is high margin. The problem is that it's a little bit lower ARPA. So it takes a few accounts to make up for $300 in margin. You have to sell a broader basket size of accounts. And sometimes, especially with AI, it's harder to sell, or it's harder for our partners to sell. But the beauty and the most important thing is that it's high retention. It has a much longer lifetime for this. And with stats like this, we haven't seen in a long time, we knew that if we could decrease the churn, if we could increase the retention, we knew that not only would the logos stay around, the small businesses themselves stay around, but naturally, by seeing the value in the conversion on all these leads, they would want to buy more. Maybe they would want to engage in more advertising or top-of-funnel activities. So it was really about how do we shift gears to O&O, knowing that selling SEO is a little bit like bison hunting, okay? So work with me a little bit. Anyone play Oregon Trail as a kid? Yeah, we did. That was computer class. So there was a section in Oregon Trail where you're bison hunting, and they're like, whoa, too much, you can't handle that in the wagon. But it's like, it's easy. You just shoot a bison, and everyone's fat and happy, we're eating, it's good. Versus farming. Farming's hard. Like farming, you gotta plant the seeds, there's weather to deal with, it takes a lot of time. You're not turning over a crop or a harvest for sometimes a couple of seasons. So bison hunting works in the short term, but if you want to provide generational wealth, you got to shift into farming. So SEO is a little bit like bison hunting, so we stopped bison hunting, and part of the narrative to the board was there might be a short-term famine, which means we might see compression in our revenue because once you switch gears, until these little seedlings become healthy crops, we're not going to start to see the fruits of those labor. So in the last board meeting, Brian talked about this. You can see here that that big red ugly line is third party. And that's the natural attrition or the churn coming out of our marketplace products. There's also a red line related to ProServe and onboarding, but that was a strategic decision to stop selling onboarding and increasing the investment or barrier in order to get partners into the platform. I'm going to talk about that later. But if you switch gears to the margin, right, this is revenue or billings, revenue, this is margin, you see we're seeing growth across all. And this is really what fuels a business, is gross margin. Top line revenue is great, and it's what a lot of people focus on, but gross margin grows your company and grows bottom line and profit and fuel and growth and everything. So we switch gears and we're starting to see the fruits of those labor. And in July, we saw growth across both billings and margin, which is indicating our strategy is working. We're developing more seedlings, so we're starting to eat a little bit from the crops, and the trough and some of the bison hunting is starting to slow as well. And so this is the strategy we've been playing since Q1 of this year, and it's starting to pay off. And now with a solid base of foundational recurring high margin revenue, now, especially with lead attribution, we can start to layer on some of those things, but it's not core to our strategy, it's an extension of our strategy. So objective number 1, bring it back to Lattice for Kim. All about accelerating AI lead adoption, and we're doing this by getting the number of AI deployed for SMBs. We're also getting more partners, so that Connect event was massive yesterday. We want to blitz a broad strategy and plant a whole bunch of seeds across our base and proactive outreach to every one of our partners to say, hey, can I help deploy one for you? We also want all of our new customers that have been signed in Q3 to get it adopted, and that's what Janessa and the onboarding team are working on, as well as selling the new Conversations AI. And we're actually pacing ahead of that as of 22 hours ago on our goals. So keep it up, and the Connect events is going to be such a boost toward this. Some of the tactics as well that we're doing, we're changing our positioning. So Kapil and Rylan leading the Project Nexus to help us lead with this in all of our sales presentations, as well as some of the SVRs we're running are helping us really drive this. Okay. Corny metaphor number 2. I was trying to okay, team, what makes sense? But just work with me for a second one. Objective number 2 is really about getting more customers to value sooner. And we're taking a page out of Disneyland's book. We're opening the gates, letting the magic lead, and letting the revenue follow. So coming out of our Q1 board meeting, I wrote this memo, and it was really a culmination of understanding what the board was asking for in our pipelines and really realizing that, hey, in order to hit our short-term revenue goals, we need to really start looking at billings and the type of billings we're generating, not necessarily the bookings. Why? Well, because bookings, I didn't have the slide. Bookings can often, we assume it looks like a rectangle, okay? We assume when we book a $12,000 contract that hits an even $1,000 billings every month. But anyone that's ever worked with a partner knows that sometimes it starts small as they deploy and learn, or sometimes it's 0 for a time period while they get up to speed. And then later on they start to grow. But the most important part of that bookings is right after it's signed and getting them activated, getting them on board, and getting them to drive. Because if you sign the contract and walk away, the bookings don't turn into billings. The customers churn. And so what this memo is, it's in Confluence if anyone wants to read about it, but it was really about focusing on, because of the shape of our revenue, and because we work especially through the channel business, we have to really focus on the billings generated and getting partners to value earlier so that they can start to create that momentum. So this strategy is simple. Open the gates. In Disneyland language, that means don't jack up the ticket prices. Discount the ticket prices so people want to come in and experience the value. It also means get them to Magic early. That is through onboarding, product activation, and really remove any barrier in their way to getting the dang AIs deployed. Because as soon as we can do that, it's like fireworks. And the third thing is that strategy will follow because the high margin in Disneyland's world, it's all about the food and the merchandise sales. Disneyland only gets one-time purchases. We get recurring. So it's really about how do we get everyone in, see early value, and then get them adopting some of those high margin recurring owned and operated revenue for their business. Because we have found that the magic number is 2.7. On average, partners make 5 times, but the magic number is 2.7. When they're generating 2.7 times in wholesale revenue compared to their first order, their subscription revenue, they have a much higher likeliness to stick around for the long haul. this was the board. This is the board. I got my hand slapped because it's so wordy, but I'm going to break it down for you in words. The strategy is, and has been in Q2 and will continue in Q3, which is it's okay, forego the high subscription. If we can't get them on a pro sub, get them in through a starter. And what we saw was there was a decrease in the average billings per partner and the total billings of the new cohort. And that is because we're not selling them a high subscription. But on the flip side, what we want, and this is, so that's really, especially in our small agency cohort, that's what we're focused on, is get them in and get them adopting O&O. And that's the entrance cohort, month 0. On the other side, Janessa and team with onboarding, she's really looking at, okay, well, how many come out the other side? What is their total billings? What is the logo retention? And what is the net revenue retention? And specifically, how many of them are buying second order? So that was from the board meeting. So really what we're doing is we're focusing on how might we, every month, increase the number of new partners that get started with the platform, plant more seeds, and we're targeting 150 a month, while maintaining in-month billings, right? That's the difference, is we went backwards. Can we do that by maintaining, and instead of overselling subscription, we'll make that gap up in second order. And so that's the third one. How might we increase on a percentage basis how much of those billings are made up? And that's all about getting them into the platform, showing them value of their customers, and ultimately getting them into our AI suite. And so I just wanted to show you what happened last month. You can see here the first column. So this is month 0 of a starting cohort. Every month we have a group of customers that starts, and then slowly over time, the logos always attrit, because you're going to see logo. Nobody can, well, there's anomalies, but yeah, generally logos go down, but revenue retention kind of goes up. And so the hope is if we have a consistent in-month billings with a larger cohort, we plant more seeds, then we'll start to turn some of these decay lines into smile curves, which everyone who's taken Reforge loves smile curves. So what happened is, while we didn't hit our 150 count in customers, and that could be because we just didn't get to that, or seasonality, July's a slow mark, what we did see was a significant increase in-month billings for those customers. And the cool part of that is if you look at the April cohort, last quarter at this time, compared to the July, we went up on a first to second order ratio from about 0.53 second order to first order to 0.71. And so we want to keep marching towards, if they can enter the cohort with as much second order foundational products as they're buying in first order, then we're much more secure that by the end of 90 days, when they're graduating, that they'll pop out of there with that 2-to-1 ratio, which is what we try. So if you take nothing else, and the other is you can see the growth in this. So while professional and premium might be declining because we're not selling as many new ones, starter's really growing and is up almost 30% year to date. So the old strategy was, let's really try to pre-qualify them before they come in the door. Let's sign fewer partners, high bookings, first order, and only focus on first order. Now it's kind of switching a little bit. And it's not new. This is not like, we used to do this, actually. And this is very much what Boca does. It's get them in, get them started, capture their credit card, get them onboarded seeing value, even if that means foregoing bookings for billing, and really drive that second order revenue, because that's where the magic and the investments that we've been making in R&D lie, and the magic in our kingdom exists. So that's it. It's part of this is aligning comp plans. Part of this is making sure we have white glove setup for everyone, even starters, focusing on reps, really driving second orders every day. The sales team is talking about how many opportunities in second order they're driving, and making sure marketing and messaging is really all around the foundational juicy products. Now, this is one not for Dale, because this is a sports analogy, but go with me for a second. So this is FC Barcelona. I've started playing soccer again. I found a new part of life that I didn't know existed. And we've been training, and we were talking about our formation. And what FC Barcelona does, Giardello, I think is his name, is he's really of the mindset of the best defense is a good offense. And this is a page out of their book, and they've won a lot of championships because of this. But the whole premise is if we control possession, rather than having a really heavy defense, if we control possession, then they can't steal it and they can't score on us, right? Anyone who's played sports understands this quote. I wanted to find the video recording of this. I tried, but it was on his team's account. But I had the opportunity of jumping on what was meant to be an SBR, I think, but the response was, no, I'm canceling. I don't want to have this conversation. So we went in hoping for a good offensive strategy. But then Will, who's been in a lot of our case studies, basically went into how, he's moved over to Zoho. We lost him in our CRM migration. He doesn't see the value in the platform. And at the last 5 minutes, I was like, I would be remiss if I didn't ask for just 5 minutes to show you what we have. And he said, you can tell me, but there is a 0% chance you are keeping my business today. And so we're like, okay, just humor us, okay? And if nothing else, it'll just be a handshake and we'll walk away from this. And by the end of it, where's Nate? Libel's not here today, but by the end of it, I think the quote was, I think I just want to set up a side hustle and run an entire new business on top of what you guys have built. And he's talking about how he gets out of law, SEO, and how he gets into AI, and how he wants to build these agents. He reached out to Libel on LinkedIn. They're talking about a fishing trip. Like it completely transformed the conversation. And so what the strategy number 3 is really about not reselling, but reselling our existing base. The customers who came to us 5, 10 years ago, who see Vendasta as a reputation management company or see us as a marketplace of resellable apps and services. It is shifting, and it is not a small shift. It is a colossal shift in the way customers view us today. And so through this, we're doing a targeted set of SBRs, strategic business reviews, different from quarterly business reviews, which are like, hey, here's how it's going. This means executive decision makers are at the table, and we're basically just doing a brand new demo to the company. Second piece is for our top target accounts. We're bringing in executive sluggers. John Vars has been jumping on calls. Sanjay's been jumping on calls. BK's calendar has never been fuller. I've been on calls, and it's really about making sure that we learn and listen to what our customers are doing, but we have that prowess and sometimes it's just a title, to cut through and make sure that the other side is bringing enough decision makers to the table. And then the third one is about making sure that we're coming together on a bi-weekly basis, sharing learnings, adapting our pitch and our script, and holding ourselves accountable to getting across to our top customers. So we've done 2 of these now. We've kind of shifted, got a little bit of a slow start, and this is really about making sure that we get ahead of anyone that poses risk, get in front of anyone that poses massive opportunity, making sure that we're selecting a group of partners that might be small but represent the broader customer set, sort of the canary in the coal mine, and anyone that just requires cross-functional alignment to drive partners forward. So those are some of the stats. So in summary, what are we up to this quarter? We just did a half quarter check-in we're doing next week, and we just scored it. Objective number 1 is planting seeds for harvest. We're just ahead on some of the sales. We're slow to deploy, so we're going to be working with AMPs, and that's all about seeing the harvest, and we're starting to see the seedlings grow. Objective number 2 is get them into the Magic Kingdom, show them value sooner, and the rest will pay off as long as we onboard them properly. And number 3 is all about having a strong, strong offense, and we don't have to have as many churn conversations. So with that, it is my absolute pleasure to announce, after 3.5 years, after a long time, we finally found the best candidate we've come across in that time. His name is Mark Brodall. He is recently coming from Spot On, which is a SMB payments platform in the restaurant space. But before that, he led teams. He was the VP of sales at Groupon. He led teams of 700 sellers, a $2 billion revenue line, led them through the pandemic. The guy's the real deal. I've learned so much from him, even in the interview process. He wowed our team when he was here, and we are so excited for him to meet each and every one of you. Giddy up, make sure he's welcome. He's going to be here on the week of August 25th, and Robin, Cal, and Emma have a jam-packed schedule for him. So, with that, do we have any social committee? David? No, sir? All right. I think we're... Bring up that fishbowl. There we go.
We also have another presentation, a sneaky one.
Ooh, who's the sneaky presentation today?
Nikia.
I know. It would be you. It totally would be you.
Sorry. I wasn't going to do it, but everywhere I go, everyone was like, how many registrations were there? What was the conversion rate? Who are you wearing? So I was just like, okay, I'll do something. I'll do something really fast. Okay. But I think we'll start with the video and crank it.
It's been talked about within tech circles for a while, but rarely so starkly and so publicly.
I think in the future we'll have AI coworkers. Those people won't even, they're not even people. They wouldn't be able to be embodied.
AI is not going to take your jobs. The person who uses AI is going to take your job.
AI will be 1,000,000 times more powerful in 4 years than it is right now today. 1,000,000 times. Who knows what we can do with that? There's a lot of things we can do with that.
What used to take, a week's worth of work to plan out for a month, now it's a day's worth of work and the whole month is planned.
This chatbot isn't like you've seen even last year.
The ARIS Receptionist was a game changer because it allowed us to see behind the curtains of the missed calls.
Some businesses are seeing 30% more leads. Others are booking 50% more appointments. Churn is down, retention is up. The business is using AI and growing faster than ever.
We grew 72% last year, year over year, and that's directly related to Vendasta.
This is your opportunity to help your customers actually change their lives and help your customers be way more efficient. And they're going to be so happy with you, and you're going to keep that customer for life. But remember, it's a gold rush, so there's never been a better time. You have to start now.
Shivers. We're up for an Oscar. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick review of Connect yesterday and some of our AI launch. First, huge congratulations to the team. I didn't have time to pull in everyone's faces, and I won't say everyone's names, but there were so many people that did so much. So great work, team. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and I'll just let you know how many people. So we had just over 1,000 people register, which was our goal. Our stretch goal was 1,500, but we finally hit our goal. More than 500 attended, which is an over 50% conversion rate, way above industry average, and just about 8% up from our last event. More than 122 of those people engaged in the chats and polls, and we had more than 130 workshop attendees. Viewing time on average was more than an hour, and total viewing time 644 minutes, or hours, which is just awesome to have these kind of people like sit on our site, and you can see the engagement. We went over, the retention rate was really great, so people were interested in it. You can see our registration, so big thanks to everyone who was posting like 2 days before. Really helped us nail it. And like I said, that retention curve, you can see right at we were supposed to end at 90 minutes, and that's where you can see some drop off, but really great. We held on to live viewers that whole time. And we've already had more than 200 people watch it on demand, so it's only been up for less than 24 hours. And we haven't advertised it. So very cool to see this, but you do see that there's about half the average viewing time. So getting them there and present when it is live is really important. Who is there? I won't go through these all, but 47% of them were tier 5 of the agency folks. By segment, most of them were agency, 53%. And by relationship, just over half were existing partners, which is pretty much exactly what we were targeting. Re-engaged, 21%, and 21% of those were brand new leads. Jackie had some of these. There were just so many to pull from. This was really cool. I won't go through all of these, but one of them that I saw, I believe this works. I need mine to work just like the one demoed. That was amazing, and mine is just okay. Done a ton of customization, but now there are capabilities and tools that have changed how my agents function. This, I'm pretty sure, was a someone who comes in and is always kind of negative. So this guy, even though, yeah, it was very cool to see him turning and the old attitudes of why people are with us changing. Some of my favorites, Vendasta was a game changer for us, hands down one of the best investments we've ever made. New to the Vendasta universe, and this entire presentation blew my mind. Thank you. So really good feedback so far, and we're trying to get more. And we're getting noticed by other people. So then this is beyond Connect. Total mentions in the quarter, you can see like 824, that was up 43% over the quarter before. But total mentions in the last week was just about 500, which is up significantly from the week before, but that makes sense because we put out 2 press releases, we had a big event, but people are starting to report on us and to talk about us, which is really cool. And a lot of that is probably you guys and your posting and having it reach more folks. The highest potential editorial reach that we had through our press releases had a potential of 43 million folks. You can see like Yahoo Finance, Toronto Star, National Post, Business Insider. These are some of the ones that syndicated our releases, and they have the largest audiences there. And when we reached out to about 52 outlets and analysts ahead of time, or after, and we had 10 briefings before. Of those 10, there was really cool to see. Rylance made a nice summary of some of the sentiment, but people were excited, and they were like, wow, well, this was a quote, "Go High Level is struggling with outdated infrastructure, and you've clearly thought this through." Like unprompted, we didn't mention Go High Level, obviously. People were amazed by the out-of-the-box functionality, and the data advantage got talked about a lot, especially by the analysts and people who've been in the industry a lot. We're already seeing some of these. The Logic, Toronto Star, All Saskatchewan is one of the biggest outlets here for news stuff. We have Global coming in. Globe and Mail is looking to do an interview, and we have other stuff coming out. BetaKit, ideally next week. And Mike Boland, he was the chief analyst at Locology. He had this come out today, and the first sentence was, "Vendasta roared out of the gates today with 2 interlinked announcements." So really cool, flattering coverage. And that's it. I'm going to keep it fast since I was late. So thanks, everyone.
All right. Get your tickets ready. All right. 1-851-0-366. Oh, Mr. G, come on up. All right, happy Friday, gang. Stay safe out there. Thanks for great all hands.